here's the Writer's Allman Brother for Friday, December 26th, 2025. It's the birthday of Henry Miller, born Arthur Miller in 1915, but ultimately got tired of writing plays and shtipping Marilyn Monroe, so he made a blood pact with a demonic sorcerer, went back in time, and was reborn as a sex addict in 1891. He showed an early proclivity for jerking off tiny animals and birds in the backyard of his Brooklyn imagination. At 6, he penned his first short story entitled simply Penis, with an exclamation point in the shape of a penis. His mother said that's redundant and took away his hands, so he began writing by dipping his erection in red paint and molesting the driveway. His first novel was banned in 95 countries and the International Space Station, even though it was about a mailbox. Censors objected to the descriptions of the open part and also the little sticky up thingy that means there's a letter inside. Miller married his first wife in 1917 and went on to marry 337 others, sometimes several a day. His divorce lawyer would ultimately perish from a money overdose. He documented all of the marriages, along with thousands of affairs, in the novels Sexus, Plexus, Fuckface, Genitals, Gentiles Who Were Naked, Boobies, and Hure, I'm gonna oof, which begins, "It must have been a vagina day night when I boned her for the first time in the love dungeon. I sodomized to the office in the morning after an hour or two of digital penetration, looking like a Kennedy." Today is the birthday of Mao Zedong, author of The Little Red Book, and its sequel, the teeny tiny little mauve pamphlet Death to Bourgeois Imperialist Pig Dogs. At just 4.5 by 5 inches, the book of Chairman Mao's quotations impacted the lives of hundreds of millions of people around the world, and yet nowhere in its 250 pages does it explain why his hair was like that. And it's the birthday of humorist and bon vivant David Sedaris, who magically grew up with 5 quotable siblings and the most epigrammatic parents in American history. As a boy in the suburbs of Raleigh, North Carolina, he would throw rocks at owls just to hear them say "who," so that he could yell back "me." He discovered smoking at the age of 5, found it helped his legally blind mother distinguish him from the family basset hound. He was tired of eating kibble for dinner and running after balls. After flirtation with mouse juggling and a brief career as a diastema model, Sedaris turned to diary keeping, documenting his time at Macy's as a mouthy Christmas tree ornament hobbling the dreams of large children. He was then discovered by a former magician for kids' birthday parties, who featured him on the brand new public radio program This a Ramekin's Life, a show about single-serving pudding dishes made of glass. But it was his numerous essay collections that brought him worldwide bewilderment and concern, affording him luxury condominia in Paris, London, New York City, New York City, New York City, Paris, Texas, Berlin, Ohio, inside the mansion at Monticello, the bowels of a 19th century terry cloth volcano, and also an auto body repair shop that he and his family dubbed the Cervix Center. David Sedaris, the only writer in history who started picking up garbage on the side of the road after he stopped drinking. Here's a poem for today by Bob Kaufman entitled Song of the Broken Giraffe. I have heard the song of the broken giraffe and sung it. The frozen sun has browned me to a rumor and slanted my navel. I have consorted with vulgar crocodiles on banks of lewd rivers. Yes, it's true. God has become mad from centuries of frustration. When I think of all the girls I never made love to, I am shocked. Every time they elect me president, I hide in the bathroom. When you come, bring me a tourniquet for our wounded moon. In an emergency, I can rearrange your beautiful wreckage with broken giraffe demolitions and lovely colorless explosions. Come, you sex Ferris wheel, ignore my illustrated bathing suit. Don't laugh at my ignorance. I may be a great bullfighter. Olé. I want to compose a great mass, but I couldn't kneel properly. Yes, they did tempt me with airplanes, but I wouldn't bite. No siree. Unable to avoid hospitals, I still refused to become a doctor. They continued to throw reason, but I failed in the clutch again. It's true I no longer use my family as a frame of reference. The clothing they gave me was smart, but no good for train wrecks. I continued to love despite all the traffic light difficulties. In most cases, a sane hermit will beat a good man. We waited in vain for the forest fire, but the bus was late. All night we baked the government into a big mud pie. Not one century passed without Shakespeare calling us dirty names. With all those syllables, we couldn't write a cheerful death notice. The man said we could have a birthday party if we surrendered. Their soldiers refused to wear evening gowns on guard duty. Those men in the basement are former breakfast food salesmen. We had a choice of fantasies, but naturally we were greedy. If they leave me alone, I will become a fallen leaf tycoon. Maybe Peter Rabbit will forgive us our trespasses. One never knows. At the moment of truth, we were dancing a minuet and missed out. After the nuns went home, the Pope threw a big masquerade ball. When the hemlock turned rancid, I returned the cup at once. Yes, sirree. Hurry, the barometer's falling. Bring a storm before it's too late. We shall reserve evenings for murder or television, whichever is convenient. Yes, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Rumpelstiltskin was emotionally disturbed. Song of the Broken Giraffe by Bob Kaufman, read without permission here on the Writer's Allman Brother, with support from Nestle's new cocoa-flavored apartment complexes, for those who love chocolate and the indoors. Until next week, be well, eat the rich, and call your mom.